What's up, nerds? Welcome to a very special edition of Nintendo Pow Block. It's not Tuesday, and it's not Friday. So why are you hearing us and watching us, and however you consume our content? Well,
yes.
About an hour after we recorded Tuesday's... Well, about an hour after we recorded, some stuff started popping up, and then yesterday, which we're recording this episode on Tuesday, so Monday, a bunch of rumors and stuff started popping up about something happening on Thursday. Oh, by the way, Ed's with me, Eddie V, that retro.
Hello, everybody.
Edward Varnell. Anyways, I started texting Ed about this and Jesse, and I'm like, there's a rumor about some other things going to happen on Thursday. And before I do the rundown about what we're going to talk about, this is all rumor and speculation. This is all kind of, take with a grain of salt kind of stuff. But I feel like there's enough places reporting it, and now bigger sources are starting to report it, like Destructoid, Polygon has a story about it, NeoGAF. This story was on Kind of Funny Games Daily, so a lot of bigger outlets are starting to pick it up. So I thought, we should talk about this, and this is going to be not a full Pow Block episode, but it might go long depending on what we're talking about. So this is a special edition Pow Block podcast.
It's a mini block.
No. That's something we are talking about doing, though, like a special Nintendo segment every night, a nightly YouTube show that Ed and I are talking about, but we'll get into that later. But so, Ed.
Yes.
I messaged you. I think you were at work or taking one of your power naps or something, and I was like...
No, I was up. I was gaming when you messaged me.
Let's see. Okay, so I'm pulling up the conversation. You continue. Sorry.
Yes. So, if you guys checked out the story that we did from last episode of Power Block, we were talking about how Nintendo sometimes shows a mini direct and then a full blown direct in a couple of days, and the longest one is 20 days. So it seems that for this showing for Thursday, it's going to be another mini direct with some new games being announced, and the full direct that they had planned got pushed to February. Now, just like Corey said, this is all rumor, and me and Corey discussed before this conversation we had and talked about was that we think the Nindie Direct is the full direct that's going to be in February, or another 15-20 minutes, because Dan Hammond, he does the Nindie stuff. So for a full direct, it's a possibility that we still could see one next month, because the games that did get excluded, Bayonetta 2, also having some amiibo functionality, they might highlight that. And there's just some other things that may come in that direct that we don't know about. Release dates, what's coming in for April, because me and Corey, we don't know what is that game for April. We know for February, March, and for May. And I think the hint of Yoshi's new game being in June. Correct, Corey? Like June 16th or 24th was the rumor. Mm-hmm. So we don't know. We can't confirm that just yet. But that direct, if they have their full direct, that's not the Nindies one, may say something about what's happening in April. If we don't even get anything, then it might be a guarantee that we're getting a full direct in April itself. And that could be the highlight for Nintendo.
Yeah. So I have our conversation here, and I'll just go through the highlights of the conversation. I'm not going to read everything. But So we visit a lot of Nintendo like quote unquote fan sites, or like, you know, they're legit sites, but some of the articles are, you can clearly tell they're articles to get clicks, and like, you know, they're fun to read, but like we don't report on a lot of the stuff because it's like I feel like on Nerds Gone Rogue we don't want to be that place that reports stuff that's like, we don't want to report stuff that there aren't sources, right?
Yes.
Because like that kind of kills your legitimacy sometimes, and like how real are these rumors or whatnot. So we really try not to do that, which is why I was hesitant about doing this episode today at first, and you know, keeping it to like a chat with me and Ed and Jesse, because like, you know, it's fun to talk about the stuff that they're reporting, but you not necessarily want to like report it yourselves, you know.
Yes.
And like, not that all these sites that we go to aren't that, but like we visit sites like Nintendo Today and Go Nintendo, Nintendo Wire, Nintendo Everything, Nintendo Life, which are Nintendo focused, either like almost fan sites or you know, Nintendo Life I feel like is a little bit more legitimate.
Europe.
You know, yeah, but they're focused on like European stuff, and like, you know, these sites are really fun to look at and read about what people are rumored and talking about and stuff. But sometimes some of the stories are kind of, you know, yeah, I don't want to say they're false, but they're like, they're there to get clicks for the website, and that's how they make their money and everything, and which is fine and all that. But after like reading a lot of these rumors, stuff started popping up on Reddit, stuff started popping up on Reset Era. You know, some very prominent people in the industry were reporting that industry sources were telling them stuff, and then stuff started popping up on other forums and everything. And then bigger sites like Destructoid and Polygon started picking up this story about Nintendo has some type of video presentation possibly on Thursday. What it's going to be, will it be another Direct Mini? Will it be a video discussing, like some people were discussing today about, is it going to be the version 5.0 update, and we're going to be able to customize our themes and layouts and stuff of our Switch operating system, like stuff like that, to full out, could it be a full Direct? A full Direct, I think, might be out of the question. So what really kind of prompted me to do this was I saw the video stuff, and then, you know, Nintendo Life went on to say that South Park was found on a Australian listing for Switch for March 13th, and then Nintendo Today was reporting that Yoshi was coming in June and was going to be on this, and then moving over to Destructoid picking up this story. So I got really excited, and Ed and I started talking about all this, and it's like, man, there's so much to talk about that we should just probably just have a podcast to talk about what the rumors are and what we might find out. So South Park and Yoshi are really the big ones. Some people are thinking that it's going to be a game-specific Direct for Fire Emblem, although a lot of sources came out and said that was false. So, yeah, man, this is crazy.
Yes.
It's just insane. There's so much. It's insane. And then after we stopped talking last night, I was like, Ed, Psychonauts. And like I was just messing with him. There's no report saying Psychonauts is coming to Switch, but I like messing with Ed sometimes. So,
so Corey, did we ever talk about Night in the Woods?
No.
Or did you see that story? Okay, so it is coming to Switch, and they're releasing it February 1st.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I just seen it on Game Informer, and I think the makers of that game posted it on their Twitter page. So,
nice.
Yeah,
nice. So I'm trying to find some of these things. There's so much that has happened in the last 24 hours since we released our last show. or 12 hours even. Like,
Yeah.
okay, so the one thing, there's a rumor that a 2D Metroid has begun development for an unspecified platform. Meaning, I think that they're either porting a game to Switch. For me, it feels like Metroid Samus Returns would be the easiest thing to say that they're developing and porting to Switch. For me. But man, I wish this was just straight. Okay. I'm sorry. This is all just kind of like spur of the moment thing. I literally just got home and called Ed and was like, we got to do this. So magic of editing, I suppose. So there's a bunch of games that have been announced. Like Ed said, Night in the Woods, Mercenary Saga Chronicles, which is a tactics RPG trilogy, is coming to Switch. Sumo Digital has teased more Snake Pass. SNK Heroines will not censor any costumes for Western release.
Saturday Morning RPG got announced and will be coming to Switch in spring 2018. Limited Run Games is going to be doing the physical copy. And they partner up with the Mighty Rabbit. I guess they're the developers who's doing it digitally. So,
yeah. So
the physicals are at Limited Run Games. I don't know if there's a pre-order or anything just yet, but they announced it just yesterday sometime. We'll check Nintendo's Twitter page to see if they drop anything suspicious.
Yeah, and then there's a rumor that 2 Lego games are going to come out this year, one featuring DC Super Villains, and then Lego Incredibles 2.
Scribblenauts Showdown got announced.
Yeah.
Or confirmed, I should say.
Yeah. 3 Nintendo games are joining the Nintendo Selects line. A Link Between Worlds, which was the rumor that we reported on last week. Super Mario 3D Land and Ultimate NES Remix join that line, so those are all $19.99 and really exciting because I need Ultimate NES Remix in my 3DS collection. So
yes,
yeah. So I don't really know where to start. I know the show kind of sounds like a rambling mess right now. Where do we want to start here?
Well, let's start with the Scribblenauts Showdown because it was rumored. And it was listed on, I think, was it Australia? That it was listed on some retail site in Australia.
Yeah.
And so they just confirmed it today, and they got a trailer up if you guys want to see it. So
yeah, it's not a traditional Scribblenauts game, though. It's more of a party game. Mm-hmm. They show a lot of people playing the game in like a party setting. So let's see here. Let me read this report. Let's see. Scribblenauts Showdown has been confirmed via Twitter, and the game is hitting Switch as well as PS4 and Xbox One on March 6th. While previous entries in the series focus on puzzle solving, the new title appears to have a more social puzzle-based focus. Up to 4 players can take part in more than 25 minigames across multiple modes. Showdown mode tasks you with finding the best word the fastest to describe a situation, while Versus mode is more about one-on-one battle experience. Sandbox gives you more than 35,000 items in which to solve problems or fight your enemy either by yourself or with the help of a friend. So sounds like a cool twist on the series. I don't know how much more they could do with like the proper Scribblenauts, but that game was really fun on Wii U. I remember getting Scribblenauts Unlimited and then the
DC one,
the DC based one.
Yeah.
So those ones were really cool. And then I'm pretty sure the game started on DS, the original DS. So yeah, I'm pretty interested in this. I'm surprised. This sounds like a game that would have been announced in some sort of direct.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they'll show it in the next big one, which, we're kind of guessing the next direct will be in February. But, it's still all speculation. Man, I keep reading more and more stuff about this thing on Thursday, and it's getting me really hyped, and I'm trying to hide my excitement, but I can't hide it. I can't hide it.
Well,
that, and I got my Starburst jelly beans, so I'm like really excited.
Yes. Yes. Well, let's address this South Park, the fractured butthole coming to Switch.
Okay.
Now, me and you have different viewpoints. And my thing is, I feel like if they were going to announce it, they should have did it right after the game release and did a special kind of Switch, kind of funny commercial or something. If they were going to, if this game was going to come to Switch, but I felt like because they haven't got Steep running yet, they're focusing more on that, on trying to get that game on the system, because they announced Steep, I think, before
they announced it before
the
Switch even came out. They announced it alongside the other versions, like the PS4 and Xbox One versions.
Yeah.
Which was what,
they were
2 years ago. It was before they announced it, because it was still NX when they announced it, because it came out. Didn't Steep come out that winter?
Yeah,
before the Switch came out, and I'm pretty sure they still were calling it NX. This is for NX.
Yeah,
and like, I see where you're coming from a development standpoint, but for me, it's, South Park runs on the same engine as Mario plus Rabbids, and so I feel like the part of the coding for that engine for Switch is already there. They just have to make sure everything runs correctly. For me, though, like, I think this is another situation where it's like a what's the game? Wolfenstein 2 situation.
Yeah,
where, like, I understand they probably could have announced it, like soon, or like in the mini direct, especially if it's coming out in March, the same week as Kirby. Like, it's this retailer listing is scheduling it the Tuesday before Kirby Star Allies comes out.
And can I just add this new thought? I wonder if some of the delays before it came out for PS4, Xbox, that the Switch version, that we don't know if it's happening or not, let's just assume. If it does happen, I wonder if part of that delays were trying to get that game to run on the Switch also. So they were actually doing 3 of them while fixing some stuff for PS4 or Xbox One.
Yeah, and I wonder if they just, like, there's been a lot of conflicting reports about how easy it is to port things to Switch. Some companies are having a lot easier time than others porting their stuff to Switch, and I don't know if that's like a Unity thing, an Unreal thing. Ubisoft seems to have a handle on the hardware, but they haven't really ported anything to Switch yet. They've only developed from the ground up for it, especially with Mario plus Rabbids. Developing something for essentially has tablet technology in it instead of PC technology in it is a little bit different. So, like, from that standpoint, it's understandable that South Park would be late coming, but, like, I don't know why they wouldn't just say, hey, this game's coming to Switch at a later date. But at the same time, if they have a bigger direct coming, which history shows that after a mini within 3 weeks, which would the latest it was 20 days on this Reddit post.
Yes.
Which would put it at January 30. No, that's not right. 31st. Yeah, January 31st. Which, we still think it's probably going to come sometime in February, like that first week of February.
Right.
Like, unless Nintendo wanted to deliver the message themselves, which I don't know if they would. Like, I understand they want, like, mature content on the platform, but South Park, the way, like, they talk and everything in that show and in that game, like, does Nintendo really want to show that off in the game or in the direct, or would they pull like I think if they would to announce it in a full direct, they would go the Wolfenstein route and just have the cover image of the game, you know,
or don't even have the cover thing. Just be like two games that you guys can't believe was coming, like what they did with Doom and Wolfenstein. How they just like announced Doom, and we was like, okay, that's done for a loop. Okay, Wolfenstein, like, and follow up with Wolfenstein 2. That threw everybody off.
Mm-hmm.
So with this with an announcement of South Park, do we want to be thrown off, or do we want to be like, okay, yes, it is been confirmed that it's coming and stuff? Because I would rather be thrown off and probably have that something saved for Switch. I mean, not for Switch, for E3.
Mm-hmm.
So if they are running off the Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle system, why not throw in some costumes for Mario and Rabbids?
Yeah, or
for cereals.
Even like just Mario costumes in general, you know, like a cape, like a Super Mario World cape or a Tanuki suit or something, like, you know, like they could be like alternate costumes for other characters too.
Yeah, like do a knockoff or a cartoon kind of a Paper Mario RPG or something like that, like something exclusive, because I think that's going to really make it stand apart for people wanting this game come to Switch. Like,
plus it would help people be like, look, maybe we already played it on Xbox One or PS4, and like maybe we don't want to double dip, you know, and that would be incentive for people to be like, oh, well, I would play through that game again if I got like if I could dress my South Park characters up as Nintendo characters, you know,
right?
Or like amiibo functionality too, like if you scan an amiibo, does it dress Cartman up like Princess Peach or whatever, like, you know what I mean? So that'd be really interesting to see.
Now, I think for people who are selling the game physically at retail, they have to inform the parents that, hey, this is an M-rated game. It looks cartoony, but this is South Park. In case if you just don't know, Grandma, Grandpa, we want to inform you that this game is not.
Well, I'm sure there'll be a big M-rated thing on the box, but like, I think South Park is such a big part of our cultural zeitgeist by now. Like, it's almost pretty much as big as The Simpsons at this point. You know, like people know what South Park is, so like, I'm pretty sure if somebody was going to buy South Park for someone, like, if they didn't know what it was, they've been sleeping under a rock, or they just don't talk to anybody. Or and don't forget, there are some retail associates who don't know much about video games, so they don't even look at the rating system, which is look at the cover, be like, oh, this is like a cartoon game. This is good for your kid, and then just hand it to him or sell it to him. So little Timmy or little Nathaniel at 6 years old, hearing Cartman said the F bomb and everything, you would be like, wait, what? Yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, for me, like, South Park fits so well in terms of what I want out of the Switch. Like, we want we talked about it. You look at the 3DS. You look at this device in my hand right now, the 3DS. It is a magical RPG device. You know, JRPGs thrive on this thing, and the Vita too. Like, don't count the Vita out in terms of JRPGs. Like, portable systems is where the JRPGs are going to thrive. And I think South Park, it sold well, but it did not sell up to expectations. It did not sell as many copies as the Stick of Truth. And that was like one of my concerns too. We talked about that. Yeah, and for me, like, I was surprised because I thought, like, you know, superhero stuff being really big, the South Park parody thing would be perfect for a video game like this. Like, for me, this was like a crossover that worked super well. Yes. And like I told you, like, I got it for Xbox One, and I was like, I don't know, this isn't really what I thought this game was going to be. Like, it's good, but, you know, there was so many other games I needed to play. I need to finish Zelda for Game of the Year stuff. Assassin's Creed was, you know, I was getting into Assassin's Creed, like, oh, sorry, I'm chugging these energy drinks and eating these jelly beans is like, but
no.
But I was like, I don't have time to sit down and play an RPG and figure out all the systems. And I was like, this game would have been perfect on Switch. Why is this game not on Switch? And like, yeah, I'm one of those idiots who wants everything on Switch. But I personally do not think not everything needs to be on Switch. Destiny doesn't need to be on Switch.
Oh no.
You know, like games as a service, like nothing needs
Destiny needs to fix what Destiny is now.
But look, we'll address Destiny again when the time comes, because Arsenal X, they're making a bunch of changes that I think are really good, for a good step in the right direction, but we'll cover that on Arsenal X. But South Park, like an RPG, like a 25-hour, tactic style RPG, with cool systems and stuff. Like, I would totally have dove in on Switch for that. And like,
dude, when I leave my house and have to go wait for people, to take them somewhere, my Switch is with me playing Xenoblade Chronicles or playing Zelda. It takes what I thought would take like a few seconds kind of feels like a real long time, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, this does work, making this game home and portable and playing an RPG on it. Because instead of just sitting down not doing nothing, I'm grinding. That grinding is taking time, and I enjoying it. And for South Park, I could see people on long road travels or at the airport playing a game like this to take some time. Like, Switch and 2DS 3DS is good for RPGs in general, and we talked about this system being a system for RPGs.
So speaking of South Park, Game Informer just posted the South Park rumor to their website. So like, this is totally like a legit rumor now. Like for me, when someone like Game Informer or IGN or GameSpot posts a rumor like this, like,
yeah,
that's when the rumor becomes legit. So this was posted this morning, it looks like. So according to a retailer listing, Ubisoft's newest South Park title, The Fractured But Whole, might be coming to Nintendo Switch fairly soon. The listing comes from Australian retailer Sanity, which puts up a mention of the game coming soon section with a March 13th release date. The date is a Tuesday. It does not necessarily confirm anything, but our sources say it's coming, blah, blah, blah. Retailer listings hold tend not to confirm anything, but Ubisoft has a history of ports and remasters leaking early. Unlike the previous game, Ubisoft's South Park, The Fractured But Whole runs on the Snowdrop engine, which was ported to Switch with Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. There should not be a lot of work getting the game up to run. Expect an announcement soon. If the listing and date are accurate, this should coincide with the rumor of the Nintendo Direct, blah, blah, blah. The Fractured But Whole was released on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC in October. So, Game Informer, I mean, this rumor excites me. I know, like, you're not a big South Park fan, but I love South Park. Like, if I'm going to sit down and binge a series, like a cartoon series, South Park is it for me. I know some people it's Rick and Morty now, some people it's Futurama, some people it's The Simpsons. For me, it's South Park. You know, like, I love South Park, especially, like, the last few seasons and, like, some of the video game related stuff that they've been doing a lot recently. Like, this excites me. This would get me to play The Fractured But Whole all the way through. So,
yeah. I think I think I will pick it up, but it's not guaranteed. I literally want to see. I want to see if it happens or not.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to see, and what difference they're going to offer for this game.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really excited about a lot of this stuff, and I'm trying to find the next story about. There was a story I read on one of the websites that had a breakdown of all the rumors for Thursday's whatever, and I'm trying to find it. So,
Well, while you're looking for it, so Blast Blue Cross Tag Battle is coming in June. It will have 20 DLC characters.
is that for Switch?
Yeah, this is a game for both PS4 and Switch. So there's going to be a limited edition of the game, which is the one that get announced. It's going to have a poster, an all-inclusive character DLC pack, an art book, and a platform-exclusive bonus for both PS4 and Switch. So for PS4, it's going to be our acrylic stand, and then for Switch, it's going to be a storage pouch. The game is going to be launching on June 5th. Because the game comes out in Japan on May 31st. So we're a week after them. The game's first DLC character is going to be Blake Belladonna from RWBY. And they have a trailer out there. So Blast Blue is going to be another game to look for. I mean, Blast Blue, I think it has been on a Microsoft platform and Sony. But it's mostly been known for arcade and Sony's platform. So for this one, because I think it was a direct, or it was something that this game got announced after that it wasn't in. Like they did like not a press conference, but a press release to websites and stuff, and they posted up on it. So this game is another fighter tag battle game coming to Switch, so it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, to have this and the SNK one, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So June 5th, maybe that's the first game to start out June for Switch, and maybe Yoshi will follow next.
Yeah, I mean it seems more and more like they're pairing a mature title with a game aimed at like a younger audience. You know, if you're looking at March and you believe the South Park rumor, they're pairing South Park with Kirby. They're pairing Dark Souls with Donkey Kong. They're pairing Bayonetta with what's the game coming in late February? I gotta look it up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I am the most unprepared for a show I've ever been in my life. Well, it's not like I'm like prepared anyway all the time, but like
you do a lot. Can I ask you about
Faye?
Yeah.
And Payday 2. So like, well, I guess, but you understand what I'm saying. So like, this would, oh man, I'm just, all these things are just happening. And remember when there was a time where we considered only doing one show a week because there wasn't enough news to put on a whole show, let alone two?
We announced that we was going to one show.
I know. Like, now like this week we're putting out 3 shows. It's like, come on.
And like I said, even before we recorded this, I was just like, because new stuff is announced every day, there's sometimes feel like we have a lot of stuff to talk about because unexpected new announcements are happening.
Yeah.
Like there's an SD Gundam game coming to Switch in Japan. Some game called Immortal Rednecks coming to Switch. Like those 2 games got announced. Some indie games and stuff are being announced, and it's just like, okay, hold on, slow down. We just got done with the direct. We're still trying to recuperate from
I know.
that.
I'm still trying to like map out what was announced last week, and now they're trying to tell me we're getting more. So I found the breakout. It's on Nintendo Wire, and other sources have since like put stuff on here, and their sources come from Reset Era, which is the spinoff from NeoGAF, and Reddit. So we know Emily Rogers on Twitter has been very vocal about, you know, Nintendo rumors and stuff. Shinobi is another one, and then Crom, who is a Reset Era user. So let's see here.
Oh, yeah, Super Chariot. That game that came out for Wii U, that one is coming out for Switch also.
Yeah. So, Nintendo Wire has the breakdown of what we could potentially see on this coming Thursday, the 18th. So, once Nintendo's first Direct of 2018 was dropped and titled as Nintendo Direct Mini, fans quickly poured over Nintendo's history. A pattern soon emerged, one that would get Nintendo fans excited once again. Nearly every Mini had some sort of Direct to occur within the next 20 days or sooner. Now, this is purely speculation, but recent comments made by leakers and insiders, it seems like we might have an announcement for another Direct this week. On Reset Era's thread for the January 11th Nintendo Direct Mini, which, by the way, Reset Era has now has their own thread for up-to-date rumors and speculation for Nintendo Directs, and so if you want to go check out Reset Era, they have something over there that you can read all the rumors and stuff. But users Crom and Emily Rogers on Twitter have come forward with new information. While they aren't extremely detailed posts, they're here to quell the hype train so that we're not left disappointed and concerning Nintendo's next announcement. So I'm going to read a couple posts here. From this first one's from user Crom. Yes, I've been hearing for a while that another Nintendo Direct is in fact happening later this week. But the new Fire Emblem game apparently won't be featured there either. I know nothing of its exact contents, but I've learned that it won't be the one to reveal Fire Emblem. It sounds like another small Nintendo Direct from my understanding. No idea how they'll announce it or if they will announce it. A more feature-length Nintendo Direct is supposedly planned sometime in February, and in my opinion, that's probably where we may see Fire Emblem after all. Here's hoping. I'm really excited for it. At this point, I'm not thinking there'll be another Fire Emblem Direct, though, sadly. And then there's a bigger post from Emily. I don't know if I guess I'll just read the points here. Emily says, I just want to offer some food for thought. What I'm about to say may not make much sense today, but hopefully this post will make more sense as the year progresses. I apologize for sounding cryptic or vague. I'm trying to point everyone's hopes and expectations for 2018 in the right direction without spoiling announcements. First, I think we've been a bit spoiled by Nintendo Directs, because the truth is not every Nintendo game announcement requires a big general Direct. I disagree. Every Nintendo game deserves a Direct. I'm just I get it though, but like,
if you're gonna do it big and get the word out, do it big and get the word out. Market.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would love every Nintendo game to get its own like mini Direct, but like that's just me. I understand, like, it's not needed. Or even a mini-sized Direct. Sometimes uploading and dumping a short video or trailer on YouTube is more than enough to create a ton of buzz for a product. For example, see the short Switch reveal video here. Attracting new players. Kimishima has stated that he wanted to attract new players. This includes small children and consumers who barely touch game consoles. In October 2016, Kimishima told Bloomberg that Nintendo was planning for new accessories and add-on hardware. It's very likely that these new accessories will include new software. Last month, Kimishima said Nintendo hopes to increase momentum by releasing games that offers new ways to play. That's part of their plan to sell 20 million units in fiscal year 2018. Nintendo is not abandoning core gamers in an attempt to attract new players. They believe they can attract new players while still keeping core gamers interested and happy. Third-party support. Nintendo is under no pressure to reveal all their third-party titles in January. Keep in mind that Doom, Wolfenstein 2, LA Noire, and WWE 2K18 weren't revealed for Switch until the very last 3 months of 2017, which all games except for Wolfenstein 2 have been released. Mario plus Rabbids and Rocket League weren't revealed until E3. As I said before, this is a very good year for third-party stuff. This is a year that already has Wolfenstein 2, Dark Souls Remastered, Ys 8, Valkyria Chronicles 4, which I'm really excited for, by the way. The World Ends With You Final Remix, Payday 2, Dragon Quest Builders, SNK Heroines, Octopath Traveler, Mega Man 11, and Travis Strikes Back. Not to mention the ones that I forgot to mention. But there are still more third-party titles that will be announced later this year from Square Enix, Ubisoft, Bandai Namco, and more. Some of these unannounced titles may have been rumored on the internet before, and some unannounced titles have never been rumored at all. Trust me, there's some good stuff coming from third parties, and you'll be pleasantly surprised in the third-party department. Lastly, Kimishima himself said different sorts of genres will be covered by third parties, which will help expand the system's user base. If you don't want to take my word for it, then take Kimishima's. Final thoughts. If there is any type of announcement this week, don't automatically assume that it's a direct or a mini direct. There's such a thing as a short trailer uploaded to YouTube. If there's any announcement this week, don't automatically assume that it will appeal to core Nintendo fans or older gamers either. With that said, the idea of a Wii Sports game for Nintendo Switch is a good idea. Nintendo needs a party/fitness game that showcases HD Rumble features of the Joy-Cons, which we actually talked about on the most recent episode.
Yes.
We talked about Wii Sports, and you said Wii Fit and stuff like that. So the Wii Sports formula with 1-2 Switch will be just the thing that casual audiences, just the thing for casual audiences, and it lets gamers who are blind and or having sensory issues take part in another game on the Switch. And then they go on to list the Nintendo Direct within 20 days of the Direct Mini list that we covered yesterday. So let's see. There's a rumored list of all of the directs happening this year. So far they've hit the nail on the head with the January 11th one. So January 11th was the Nintendo Direct Mini. January 18th, rumored Direct Mini or Casual Gamer announcement. February 4th, a tentative date for the Super Bowl, potential commercials showcasing games for 2018, and the month of February and March. February, potential announcement, possibly Nindy's showcase theme, which is what we said.
Yes.
March, Nintendo Direct for Kirby Star Allies, and dates for more details on Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, Mario Tennis Aces, and more, which we think those two games are coming in April. Personally, that's what we talked about on the show the other day. Those two would be great April games. May, a refresher on what will be out prior to E3 and potential announcement for how to participate in the live events for E3. And then E3 is June 12th, 13th, and 14th, which Nintendo Spotlight E3 2018. August 29th and 30th, Nindy's showcase at PAX West. September, potential Nintendo Direct for major releases planned through the end of November. And then October, November will be a themed Nintendo Direct surrounding specific games. So that's a lot, man. We are getting spoiled with Nintendo Directs, and there's a point where we were on the show like debating whether or not they would actually do Nintendo Directs after Iwata passed away, because he was such a core component of these things. And then when they started doing them without him, last year, and they had it with I always forget his name, the Japanese guy who does them now, pretty much.
Kimishima? No. No. What's this? Yeah, Hashimi. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Is that his name? I'll look it up in a second. But they've done well. They've been produced well. I like their kind of like slideshow style presentation, where they just kind of give you a list to tease what's coming up, but also like, I like the way that they've been doing Nintendo Directs, and the fact that we are getting possibly getting another one this week is blowing my mind. Like, I don't even care if it's not a direct. If it's something that we can get excited about, like a
reveal.
Look, I've been telling you that Switch needs Wii Sports 2 since the system launched. I would love, like, I know they're trying to get away from the Wii name, and I know that, like, the Wii U wasn't exactly how it didn't exactly go how they wanted it to, but Wii Sports is such an iconic game for them that I think Wii Sports 2 would be just an amazing game to almost relaunch the system with.
Yes.
You know?
And I think with if they do a Wii Sports 2, that HD Rumble will feel good, will feel better. Because I kind of want to do the jet skis from the Wii Sports Island or whatever that one was.
Oh, the
like
Wii Sports Resort?
One. Yeah. I would like to do like the jet skis on that. It kind of, now that I don't have no attachment, like really use my Joy-Cons and see how it like really feels like I'm actually doing it. Like they could do the Wii Sports add the Wii Sports games too, and update them and add some things. I'm down for that. Like it's cold out here. I don't feel like driving. I feel like doing some bowling. Let's bowl. You know, if you got another pair of Joy-Cons to do some actual good boxing, that'd be cool too.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. I mean, like, I would love. I can't tell you how much time I spent on Wii bowling. You know, like even my dad would play Wii bowling and Wii golf with me. Like, that's how. My dad hasn't played video games since he brought home an Atari and we were playing Kaboom on the bedroom floor. Like, you know, like he does not. He, like, in all honesty, I think he thinks video games are still like a waste of time, and that's fine. Like, my dad's 65. He's allowed to have that because, like, you know, he hasn't kept up on everything like we do, and like games have evolved so much since then. But like, you know, it's for him to sit there and Wii bowl with me or play Wii tennis or like play a round of 9 holes in Wii golf by himself, you know, like
yeah,
that's cool. And like, I would really love to see that come to Switch because like the Joy-Cons have great motion sensing control in them. They have the HD Rumble now. They have so much customization. Like, they could make customized like motion controllers for these games. Like, they could do so much.
Yes.
That I think even if this video on Thursday is a casual quote unquote gamer style thing, like, it'd still be exciting to have that. You know, because this would be almost exactly what the DS did, where like we got Mario 64 and some Zelda games and stuff, but we also got Brain Age and Professor Layton and Ace Attorney, you know, those style games. So yeah.
This time, hopefully, I'll be up and have my breakfast and stuff ready to go to watch it.
I mean, I'm supposed to record with Matt and Moose on Wednesday for our new Hammer Bros Academy series. So I'm gonna try to be up early that day. Like, I have to be.
Yeah,
I have to be. So, yeah, it's. Whew.
Yeah. So what about the NBA Jam thing?
Oh, yeah, that was the other thing that, like, so there was a story that came out, I think it was on IGN, about the announcer the original announcer for NBA Jam said he was working with Microsoft to promote the 25th anniversary of NBA Jam.
Yes.
NBA Jam license is owned by EA, which, hooray, whatever. But, you know, I think like NBA Jam would be awesome on Switch. And like, just because he's working with Microsoft to promote the game doesn't mean, you know, how, you know, Sony has the marketing behind Battlefront 2 and Destiny 2, but and Call of Duty, but they don't that's not exclusive, right?
Mhm.
That's what I'm thinking NBA Jam is like NBA Jam will Microsoft will cover the marketing budget behind it, but it's coming to everything, and
Yes.
like I mean 25th anniversary, people thought NBA Playgrounds was going to be the thing on Switch that's kind of like NBA Jam, but ended up not being it. And like I downloaded that. If you bought it already, you got that updated version for free. It's still rough, dude. It's still not great. Look, I appreciate what they tried to do with that game, but dude, it's when you have Shaq draining half court shots just out of nowhere, it's not great. Look,
Yikes.
I'm sorry. But I would be excited for NBA Jam. Like, I like NBA Jam a lot. And, like, I think
I do too.
the remake that came to Wii first
Was really good.
was really good. And then I think the On Fire edition came to everything because I think I have it on 360, actually. And I think it's backwards compatible. So, maybe I'll download that and try it out. But, man, dude, I don't know. I'm just, like, so excited that the words that I want to say won't come out in the right order, and then I start rambling, and I'm just like, I literally have 9 tabs of 9 different Nintendo sites or websites open that for video games open on a different story about this stupid thing on Thursday. Ugh.
You just wanted it to happen.
I
happens.
do. Look, for 15 years I've been made fun of for being a Nintendo fan instead of being a PS2 or an Xbox fan. And it's exciting when everybody else is excited about Nintendo stuff. Like it's exciting to not be left out or talking to myself about something like this. And as much as I hated the Wii, like I liked a lot of the games that were coming out for it that, The Last Story, for example, was a very underrated action RPG that came out. Then you could use the Pro Controller, and like it's from Mistwalker, the team that made Lost Odyssey, which was one of my favorite JRPGs of all time. Like, I just get really excited, man, when cool things happen for Nintendo, and when people are excited about Nintendo. Finally, it's just like, and like, look, I even started playing my 3DS again because like I've been watching a lot of Blossom Tales, which I need to download when I get paid.
Yes, I think I'm gonna buy that Friday.
Yeah, Blossom Tales, and A Link Between Worlds has been in the news lately. So I've been playing A Link to the Past on my 3DS, and like, and that was the other thing, that Thursday also might be the online stuff. They might give us a little hint on the online stuff, though. Like, that rumor kind of fizzled out everywhere. Like, it just was like, no, it's not ready. You're just gonna have to wait for that. But it's I like talking about Nintendo, and it's really nice to see that there's almost too much to talk about. Like, it's like, as we're recording this, it's only Tuesday. We've released our first show for the week already, and we're recording like almost an emergency episode because so much happened between the time we recorded and now.
And that news story and the mention of another 2D Metroid in development.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute. Let's talk about that, because that's important. That tells me that Samus Returns sold enough copies that Nintendo thought it was worth going in and saying, okay, people enjoyed this. What can we do next with a 2D Metroid? We already have Metroid Prime on the way. What can we do with this franchise either after Metroid Prime, or something to release for Switch owners because Metroid Prime's not coming out till next year?
Well, they can't go back to Fusion. I know that much. Fusion is, I think, the actual last game for the storyline, because Other M is not Other M is part of it, but that one is before Fusion happens. So if they do another 2D Metroid, whether for Switch or 2D or the DS systems, I think it would have to be Metroid 5. Like the actual fifth Metroid in its own storyline. Because Prime, I believe, is something else. Prime is something else compared to the regular Metroid storyline.
I'm gonna look this up real quick. You continue though.
And I know Larry Garrett's going to get on me, and we'll probably talk about it. Because I know I know we're going to have another episode soon or sometime about the continuation of the Metroid games. Like we was going back with some of the games that came out that we played and that we enjoyed this stuff, and trying to figure out like kind of the storyline or how each game goes. But
I found the timeline, by the way.
Okay, go ahead.
So the for the games, there's two comics that came out in Japan that take place before Metroid 1, but it goes Metroid Zero Mission, which is essentially the same game.
Metroid Zero Mission, I would love a Switch port. That game is beautiful, so good.
So it goes Metroid Zero Mission, Metroid Prime Hunters, Metroid Prime 2, Metroid Prime 3, Metroid 2 Samus Returns, Super Metroid, Metroid Other M, and then Metroid Fusion is the timeline.
Yes.
So.
Okay.
I would really like to see them... You know what I would really like to see them do, honestly, is like a very beautiful pixel art, similar to Axiom Verge, but like a 16-bit style instead of the 8-bit style that game kind of uses, and really return to like Super Metroid, like that art style, but just give us a big planet to explore in a 2D space and just let us go. I mean, I don't want like a remake of Super Metroid. I just want like a pixelized, like really good, solid art direction Metroid game.
Well, I wonder, should they actually do a remake Super Metroid?
I mean, it would sell a ton of copies, but I think a lot of people would be like, unless they added stuff to it, unless they really, really added like a new section of the map or new secrets or new weapons, like it would almost have to be, if they remade Super Metroid, it would have to be like a Resident Evil remake situation where like it would really have to play with the player when they get to a point that they remember, and it would have to like change it up a little bit, Yeah,
because I think, well, they probably would do it or not. The cutscene for Other M, spoiler alert, where they show, no, not Other M. It was a cutscene that they showed where the baby Metroid took the energy from Mother Brain and put it into Samus, and it's kind of, it looks like it's a cutscene. Almost, it was a little bit detailed, and I forget what game it is.
I think that's Other M, because that's
Other M,
because yeah.
Okay, then it is Other M. Okay, I remember. I couldn't remember which game it was. That they used that kind of cutscene for like its remake.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm excited though that they are like, look, we're taking a 2D Metroid seriously. I think Metroid has grown in appreciation over the years. I know. Mm-hmm. I know, like back in the day, Metroid is a popular Nintendo fan series, but it's not exactly a system seller. A lot of people don't buy systems for Metroid. So, I mean, certain people do, but not enough to like get a game every like 2 years. But
it
makes me excited that people are excited about Metroid again, and that Samus Returns sold more copies. Enough copies to actually, have another 2D game in development. So.
I think Super Metroid did so much for Nintendo, and games of that time. It was just something to experience. It's that first time experience without having nobody tell you what to do. It's like you got to kind of experience on your own to understand why that game is kind of like a perfect 10, and it's a classic, and it's so highly regarded as kind of the best game of all time. I think Breath of the Wild has kind of pushed that out of the way in a sense, but people are still going back and playing Super Metroid and just reliving what that game did for them at that time, or introducing new players to it. So, if they do a new 2D Metroid, whether it's a remake or it's a new game, I think there's going to be more positive support for it.
Yeah, for sure. So
yeah, and a 16-bit Metroid, they can't put that on 2DS or 3DS. They got to put that on Switch.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. They need to do it for Switch.
I would it would have to stay on my TV so I can marvel at it. Just be like, okay,
yeah.
Let me see what y'all got planned for this month, because y'all designed it some way, and y'all got something up your sleeve.
Yeah. I mean, the 3DS got enough Metroid love. It's time for Switch to start getting it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care if the 3DS gets more games, but look, Switch needs a Metroid game. So, I mean, and I know Metroid Prime 4 is coming, but like, yeah, 2D. Yeah, 2D.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyways, is there anything else we need to talk about, like really talk about before Friday? I want to save some stuff for Friday show, unless that direct happens, but I do want to save some of this stuff for then.
Well, congratulations to the team for who did Super Meat Boy. They got close to their 360 debut in numbers, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe goes back to first place for Nintendo Switch in UK. So that's really good to read.
And also Splatoon 2 is the first game to sell over 2 million units in Japan in almost a decade. So.
Congratulations to them about that. You know what? I thought it would be the regular Splatoon on how popular that game was selling in Japan.
Yeah, but the fact that the Switch has outsold the Wii U lifespan, like,
yeah.
I mean, Splatoon over there is much bigger than it is here, and like, I'm just happy that Switch is doing well over there, and like, Splatoon is a popular game over there, and like, as it should be. It's very very Japanese in terms of like style and character design, and it's great. I'm loving it.
Yes,
loving it. So I think that's really about it. I really felt the need to do a show today, man. It just felt right. It felt good. We're getting ahead of this possible Thursday Direct announcement thing. Like, this is what we wanted to do last time, right? Was like,
yes,
we wanted to do a pre-show where we kind of talked about what was going to be announced and talked about, and then we were going to like do a watch along on Twitch, and like, oh man, look at this, and get our reactions on there. And then we were going to have a post show, which, we ended up doing with Jesse anyway.
Yes.
And then do the regular podcast. Well, we need to be up at like 6:00 in the morning and like just follow everything. Like, I mean, I've already got my alarms set for like 6:30, 7 o'clock. Like, I'm gonna be up. I'm gonna make breakfast. I'm gonna be at my computer working on like
tomorrow. I'm right after I get off of work. I have to get snacks and breakfast. Like, I have to get prepared.
Yeah,
I might nap just for a little bit. But I'm going to be like, you know what? A 20-minute nap is good. I'm up. Let me write. Let me create. Let me keep myself busy. Because if it just happens, we have to, we got to be ready. We literally have to be ready.
Yeah, and like we're going to record a show that day regardless if it happens or not, but like we want to be ready. We want to like, and I hope it doesn't drop in the afternoon, because like before all this happened, I was like, my wife and I were planning date night on Thursday because I'm off, and we have like a bunch of gift cards and stuff to use up, and like we were planning a date night. I just hope this doesn't drop at like 6:00.
Oh no,
we're like going out to eat. Like it's got to drop in the morning. Like this feels like another like morning kind of we're gonna drop it kind of thing. Yes. But we will be prepared. We're gonna be. Do we want to do some live stuff on Twitch? Follow us on twitch.tv/NGR radio. We might be live. We're going to do some like, maybe we'll do some Let's Pod and Plays that morning. Like, I think we could do that kind of stuff and kind of talk about what we expect and that kind of stuff. So, and when we get off here right now, like I'm going to set up all of the recording stuff for that. So, we can be prepared.
Yes.
But,
there was I don't know if you've seen this, but Lego DC Supervillains and Lego Incredibles 2 could be on their way to Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, I hit on that earlier at the beginning. It was on
I didn't see it on Nintendo Live. They just like posted it.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Yeah. I hit on that. There's a few other things coming, but we'll get into all that on Thursday's show.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm expecting Thursday's show to be longer. So, I mean, I have a bunch of question block questions that we can answer too if this direct doesn't happen. Like, I've been saving them up just so we have questions to read. Plus, we need to get some expansion packs done. Like, we have stuff to do if this doesn't happen. I wanted to do a pre-show show.
Yes.
Just in case this happens. And, you know, like I said, I was hesitant to do this because, you know, some of the smaller sites were reporting it and like Reddit rumors and stuff, like you take those with a grain of salt. But, you know, now that, you know, Game Informer's talking about it, Nintendo Life, Polygon, Destructoid, now sites like that are talking about this stuff, like I thought maybe we should get ahead of it and do this anyway. So,
yes.
But yeah, this has been an emergency episode of Nintendo Power Block. Email us your questions at nintendopowblock@gmail.com. Go to ngrradio.com/Nintendo Power Block to watch all of our content over there for Power Block. You can follow us on Twitter at NGR Power Block because Twitter won't let me use Nintendo Power Block. Not that somebody already has it. It's just it's too long of a word. So.
Yes.
And then on Instagram at Nintendo Power Block. Like, subscribe, and share to our YouTube page. Rate us on whatever podcast service you are listening to us on. Ed, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at ThatRetroCode, and you also can check out my podcast, Optional Opinion, on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play. Check out our contest on Facebook.com at Nintendo Power Block. We want more questions for you guys when you guys could win a certain prize. So you can read the details on there at Nintendo Power Block on Facebook.
Yeah. You can find me at CoreyandHG on Twitter and Instagram and various other shows on NGR Radio. This was just kind of a show that we threw together. Again, I apologize for all like the craziness at the beginning of the show and kind of the disorganization, but like, look,
dude,
we've been talking about this since last night, and like it was there's too much evidence not to like at least discuss a maybe. So
yes,
and Ed, Psychonauts. I'm just kidding. There's no evidence whatsoever that Psychonauts is coming to Switch. I just like to tease Ed. Please don't get excited.
Because believe me, Double Fine is known to pull some stunts. And I would not be surprised.
Don't get me wrong. I would love Psychonauts on Switch. Like,
dude,
love Psychonauts.
Give me that. Give me Costume Quest. And that one in their first Kickstarter game that was broken into 2 parts. Do it.
Banner
I cannot.
Saga?
I think so. I can't think of it. But if they do like
King's
if Double
Quest? I don't remember.
no if Double Fine decides to actually do some games for Switch, I would go for those 3 games.
Yeah. Man, I really want Psychonauts on Switch. Like, I really do.
What if it just showed up on like the fall Nintendo Direct?
I mean, that would be awesome, but I mean, I would. But anyways,
I literally just feel like I want to plan a trip coming back to see you.
Broken Age was the
Broken Age.
game.
Yeah. I would love to come back to Cleveland and be like, Ohio, I should say, and be like, I'm here. They're doing a live direct. We must discuss.
Dude, I wish you were going to be here during E3, like for real. That would be awesome. But
look, inventory is done, so
yeah. It's funny. I'm looking at I'm on Double Fine's website right now, and like to see that some of their games came to Ouya. Remember that thing?
Oh yes.
Oh boy, wow. That was a story a couple weeks ago that their controller can now be linked to Switch as a Pro controller. I'm like, ooh.
Yowzers.
Sure. But anyways, this has been a Nintendo Power Block emergency episode. I'm sure Ed and I will keep talking after this we're done recording. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and until Friday, we love you.
Bye, everybody. Woohoo!